Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from ArtAlienTV and ArtAlien.tv, my new website here. Come and check it out. There'll be a link in the description. This is Sol 468. This is a really nice view, this one. We got Mount Sharp in the background, and we got this wide angle view, which actually is a 360, a full 360 view, right? So stuff over on the far right here is actually over there. Okay, so it's a 360 panoramic, this one. And I've also got this one here, which is 554, which is not a full 360. This is about a 180 view or something like that. It's nowhere near as wide, but it's absolutely rammed with goodies, okay? And when I say goodies, I mean things like fossils, crystallized remains, objects, and even sort of weird structures and stuff like that as well, which are really cool. Now, this is something that was found by Monte Williams, initially back in 2014, all those years ago, and he found it, and then I did a short video on it, which you can link to from here, by the way. There's a link to it here. It's called Mars Alien Dinosaur Skull Found, Curiosity Rover, 2014. He found it in February, I think, and later in February I did a short 3-minute video of it as well, and this is it right here. Okay, you can see it there. It's pretty obvious what it is, and when you see the comparisons, it will make a lot more sense, because it's not in full frontal view. We're seeing it from the side. This is an eye socket here, which is kind of teardrop shaped. This is the mouth with a point at the front. Here's the jaw, and this is part of the neck here, which has kind of been bitten off, or well, it's been separated from its body, literally. This is the original cover from that original video I did years ago in 2014. Not a great quality image, but you can see what it is. You can see the nose here, the snout area. You can see the jaw here. You can see the eye socket there. And I'll show you a comparison in a second. This is a new clip I've done, which is a little bit cleaned up from that. It's not as dark, but I cleaned it up and there's less distortion in here, okay? You can see the eye socket there, you can see the mouth, you can see the neck where it's kind of been bitten off or whatever there, okay? Really cool. That was a great find. And incidentally, if you look on the ground here, there's loads of weird stuff, but a lot of it's a bit out of range and quite a long way off and too small. This is quite large. Now, how far away would you say that is? You can see the rover here, these wheels here, right? And the rover's looking across up here. Well, it's looking right round. And I would say that's over 50 feet away, possibly 60 or 70, something like that, I would say. And it still looks quite large. Now, in the original video, I compared it to this. This is a Apatosaurus, okay? And look at this teardrop shaped eye socket here. Almost identical to what we're looking at. The one on Mars isn't quite the same. The teeth are different, or at least the snout's slightly different shape, and it has kind of a point, almost like a beak on the front, coming down, okay? Let's go back to that image. You can actually see, just there, it has some, what looks like some teeth detail in there, not a lot, you can't see much. It's a long way off, remember. So you're not going to see fine detail here. It's basic shapes we're looking at. You can actually see there's a point. So it's almost got a turtle-like kind of beak point at the front. But there do seem to be teeth in there. You can see one there and a bunch of them there, but they're not very large teeth. They're large-ish. You can just about make them out. Let's go a bit closer. Yeah, you can just about see one there. And you can see some smaller ones there, but some of them may have fallen out. And the eye socket is almost identical, that kind of long teardrop shape, to that thing I just showed you, okay? A really cool find from Monty, that one. Monty made some good finds, and I also think he found this thing near it as well. There's a kind of statue head here, just here, which looks kind of a bit like Batman. There's an ear, there's the eye, and there's the nose sticking out. I'll take a clip of that and put it in at the end for you. It's very vague. This is a long way off, and One reason why I do think there is a much thicker atmosphere on Mars is because when you get to a certain distance, like we have in the background here, we've got this misty kind of veil over the background. As some people have suggested that's fake. It's not. It's just a very long way off. You can see it's real. And it's very consistent. If you look at all the images we've had over the last 12 years, or 10, actually nearly 10 years now, then it's been very consistent all the way through that. And for them to fake that over such a long period would be nigh on impossible, I would say. But basically what I'm saying is the reason it's got that milky colour is because there is moisture in the atmosphere, a lot more moisture than we're being told. I'm not saying it's as moist as it is down here. I'm just saying there must be more atmosphere and more moisture in the air and more humidity in the air than we are being told, okay? And then we have this, which is a skull of a reptoid, or some kind of weird Martian anyway. And you can see two eyes here, some nostrils there, two nostrils, and we've even got teeth there, quite clear teeth, just here. Now, I've done some clips of these to show you, because on there it's not very clear. What I've done here, I've got a raw clip there, and then I've got an enhanced clip here. And if you look really carefully, you can even see eye detail in that eye hole there, in the orbit. There's the orbit, and you've got pupil detail in there. Okay, this is a crystallized skull. This is what happens on Mars. It's very much like Lake Natron in Africa. It was very, very salty. I've gone through this 100 times. I'm not going to go through it all again, but basically we have nostrils and we have teeth. I haven't enhanced this very much, but it's got quite pronounced teeth here, but they're very jagged and sort of irregular incisors and stuff there, right? But they're not human teeth, because this isn't a human. Unlike many of the skulls that I've shown, fossilized skulls and remains. There were humans on Mars, but there were also lots of other types of people there, and some of them were quite scary looking, okay? And this is one of those. So there's the Dino. There it is. Okay, look at that eye socket there. Nice, really nice shape. When you've found lots of similar ones like I have in this area, then you get used to looking for certain sort of traits and facial features. And one of the facial features that a lot of them had, the reptoid ones anyway, a lot of them had quite small eyes and quite small nostrils and a very sort of reptilian looking nose with not a large bridge or anything like that, but literally no real nose, but just kind of holes, right, with tiny nostrils and very irregular jagged teeth like this. There's quite a large one there, there's one there, right, kind of spiky. I'll crank up the contrast for you, and let's bring out some of that detail, because this isn't very dark. I could have gone a lot darker. Let's crank it up a bit, and those teeth should pop out. There we are, you can see them a bit better now. And again, there we are, see that? See those pointed teeth? Jagged, sharp, almost piranha-like teeth, like some of the ones I've shown elsewhere, like in Jezero Crater as well. There are similar ones there. How large is this? About human size, I would say. Don't know exactly. Let's have a look on the actual Gigapan. There it is. It's about human size. And it's not that far from the rover. It's about 10 to 15 feet away. Probably about 15 or 20 feet, 15 maybe. Yeah, approximately human size, a little bit bigger, I would say. This is, instead of being about 8 or 9 inches, this is probably like 10. It's quite a large, elongated skull, like a lot of them have. So let's have a look at Sol 554. Now, this is rammed with stuff. This is nowhere near as wide, this view. But it's absolutely rammed with goodies, and there's some new finds that I've just found. Just here, there's a new one. and it's a bird. Okay, you can see the head there, and you can see the beak here. If I use the magnifier for you, there's the raw clip. You can see the beak coming round. Look at that beak. And let's look at the enhanced clip there. You've got eyes, and the upper part of the beak and lower part of the beak here. And it's it's a little bit confusing because there's this weird object here with something sticking up, which is very strange. And it comes to about here. This may be petrified wood or something like that, who knows. And the bird skull is is almost stuck to the edge of it there. So we got part of it obscured by this thing sticking up here. Right? So it's a little bit confusing. There's loads of other weird stuff here as well. I'll show you that up close in a minute in my graphics processor. There's a new find here. Now, this is really weird. And this is just sitting on the mountain side, right? Now, this is miles away, right? There's the raw clip. There's the enhanced clip. Now, this doesn't look much, right? Because it's a long, long way off. It's miles and miles away. But this thing doesn't look like it's part of the mountain. It actually looks like it's sat on the mountain. In other words, it's got this weird shadow around the edge, right? And it's got like kind of windows on the front. These two dark things here, and it's kind of almost kind of a UFO kind of saucer shape or cup shape almost, right? Like a weird sort of dome or something, but it seems to be sat on the surface rather than part of it, right? And that is right at the back here, right over here, all the way back here. Now, this may not look that far away, but it is, trust me. From where we are now, here, to this ridge is probably about 100 meters or so, maybe a bit further. But if you go right up to here in the background, this is Mount Sharp with all these weird domes here. Got a row of them there, buttes and domes. But this thing is right over here. Now that I estimate to be about 4 miles away. Right? It could be even 5 or 6, but it's probably around 4. And it still looks quite big, and it's just sticking up, and you can actually see it quite well in this one. Just there. And it looks like it's just sitting on top of the mountain. It's not actually part of it. Right? It's just sitting on it. So, could this be a vehicle or something else? Or just a weird structure? I don't know. But you can just about make out those dark oval shaped window type things on that side. But this is raw, so you're not going to see that very well. So you need to take a clip of it and darken it up like I've done here. And I estimate this to be about 300 feet high or wide. Similar to many of the other domes that I've shown on Mount Sharp and on Mars. So it's that kind of size which kind of conforms with those that I showed in a recent video, the dome video I did about a week ago. Okay, so there it is, really weird. That's a new one. Not a lot of detail in it, but it's interesting the way it kind of sits there, like a giant sort of weird sort of dome sort of structure thing. Not enough detail to say really, but it's very, very strange the way it's sat on there like that. There's this weird thing here, which is like a weird kind of structure as well. On this ridge, that's miles away. There's the bird. This is a new find as well. This is a statue head with a huge ear, it seems, and 2 eyes and a nose and a funny little mouth. Nothing much to say about that. Not much detail there. I've shown these other things before. This is one of the images I sent to Ancient Aliens years ago when I was on that program, and I called it the Palenque Astronaut. Right. There it is. Really cool. And that's just here on this ridge. So there's loads of stuff in here. There he is. All right, the Palenque Astronaut right there. It's quite large, that. Way bigger than the human head. At least double the size, I would say, for it to look that big from that distance. And there's also another one here which looks a bit like I called it the android head. I don't think it is an android. It's just over here on this kind of slope. Just there. Really weird. With a weird sort of smile, it seems, with bright teeth. It's there. So I'll put clips of all these in at the end for you. And here's the bird. I'll just outline that for you. I think that's an eye there. Another eye here. Top part of the beak there. Coming round. And the lower part of the beak here. Right? And there's the inner part there. And there's even some inner shadowing, which looks like a tongue or something in there as well. And there's the head. Now, I think this thing here is obscuring it. You've got that coming across to there, at least, or maybe even to here. Right? It's like a broken wall or some weird stuff with a weird kind of head on it at the end. It's there. Really strange. Weird stuff going on there. I don't know what that is, by the way. No idea. But this really looks like one of the hawks or eagle type birds that I've shown before. And there seem to be some of these still flying around. We don't see them very often, but there are what seem to be birds flying around in Gale Crater. Okay. And there's lots of quite fresh looking bird remains that I've shown before, which look literally only a few years old as well. They may be much older, but the thing is, like I've said 100 times before, this lake area preserves things extremely well, and these things crystallize quite quickly, a bit like we have at Lake Natron in Africa, where these animals just kind of, they literally crystallize in a matter of weeks. Okay, when they die, they fall in the lake or in the sediment, and they literally kind of mummify and into a kind of salt mummy stroke crystallized fossil, right, which dries them out and hardens them into a sort of crazy looking fossil like this here. Okay, and preserves them extremely well. And I think a similar process was happening in Gale Crater. Okay, and a lot of these things, they look absolutely mental, right? And they're just obviously not just rocks. Like this thing's got a little roof on it, and it's got these weird kind of parts to it here. This strange thing sticking out. Someone said it looked a bit like an oven with a loaf in it. Who knows? It could be. It really could. I mean, I don't rule anything out. There's another head. You can see that's a head with a nose, 2 eyes, and ear sticking out there. It's a shame it's not clearer and closer. Okay, these are all marked on here. So there's loads of stuff here. I've shown a lot of this before, so I'm not going to go through all that again. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Smash that like button. It really helps. If I don't get over like 200 likes in the first day or so with a new video, then my videos just get kind of squashed by YouTube. Okay, so please smash that like button. I'll have links to all this stuff as usual. There'll be links to these Gigapans in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.